Hello, everyone. I'm Lee Pacchia, and this is the Bloomberg Law Bankruptcy Review. I'm joined now by Bloomberg News editor-at-large Bill Rochelle. As always, you can check out his daily bankruptcy column, available on BloombergLaw.com, and it's also on the Bloomberg Terminal. So, Bill, 3 items to run through this week. First off, I guess we have the theorem that bankruptcy raises asset prices through the process. That has borne out to be true again, both in the DBSD case and also Innkeepers. Let's start with DBSD. What happened there?
Well, last year, the bankruptcy judge confirmed a plan, and unsecured creditors got like bupkis. By the way, that is a technical legal term, comes from Latin, means almost nothing. In any event, the Circuit Court of Appeals upset the confirmation, sent it back. This time around, somebody came in with a $1 billion offer. The judge said, go back and look for more, and
they found it.
Oh boy, $1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Not only does
that'll make a difference in the case.
Not only does that pay all creditors, secured and unsecured, in full, it also gives the shareholder, ICO Global, about $300 million plus.
Changed the whole complexion. So what happened in Innkeepers?
Well, there you have another situation where the bankruptcy court, by its supervision, was able to smooth out a process that had a whole lot of lumps and problems. And so it looks like here we're going to have an effective auction down the road. And by the way, before I forget, the bankruptcy judge issued a really important opinion from the bench. It was not in writing, but she said in
That's Judge Shelley Chapman. She's new to the bench.
Boy, but is she good. And she said in no uncertain terms that if you're a certificate holder in a CMBS transaction, you don't have any right to go to bankruptcy court and complain about something that's going on. That's really important for the CMBS community.
Changing the picture for the structured finance community. Right. Let's jump now to Newstream. Busy week for them. There was an involuntary petition filed against the company last week. We have a prepackaged bankruptcy filed this week. What's happening there?
Well, what's remarkable about Newstream is that for the first time in a long time, the SEC has appeared in the case and says that they are conducting an investigation behind the scenes. Some of the investors who say they have about $90 million at risk contend that they were duped into making investments promising that they would be on the same basis as some other creditors who are coming out pretty well when they're getting very little. So we got to sit back and see what happens, but it's so unusual to see the SEC in a case that this just bears watching.
How did the investors say that they were duped? What was the underlying
Well, they
claim
contend
there?
that they were told that by making investments in some funds in the U.S. and in the Cayman Islands, that they would get the same treatment as creditors of a fund of Newstream in Bermuda. Turns out, not true, that they're being offered under this plan what they call a pittance when some of the other creditors are getting paid Derner in full or a substantial chunk. So this bears watching, see how it turns out.
Very interesting. Let's jump now to Borders. Interesting developments yesterday in court. Attorneys for the debtor got yelled at by the judge in a rather unusual hearing. What happened there?
Well, you know, sometimes a lawyer just wishes you never got out of bed.
This sounds like an absolute nightmare.
Oh, it was. They got remonstrated by the bankruptcy judge for basically copying the papers on a very routine motion that another law firm had written in another case. And the bankruptcy judge told them, you ain't getting paid for nothing for that motion that you knocked off from somebody else. Now, what's interesting about this, Lee, is there is no copyright protection for anything filed in a court anywhere. But, you know, I'm wondering now, is this judge setting a new standard where if you borrow somebody else's pleading, perhaps even your own, you ain't going to get paid for it? The interesting thing is, if everything has to be an original creation, then bankruptcy costs are going to rise.
Right. It sends prices up. Very interesting. We'll have to see how that one plays out. Bill, thanks so much. That's Bill Rochelle. He's a bankruptcy news columnist here at Bloomberg News. If you'd like to learn more about the issues we just discussed, go check out our daily podcast and Bill's column. They're both on BloombergLaw.com, and they're also on the Bloomberg Terminal. I'm Lee Pacchia. Thanks for watching.